This Week in Comics presented by Danger Zone.
Everything released by Marvel Comics. This week, Marvel Comics released 14 different comics and a new TV series. The comics included Deadpool, 2024, number 10, Hellhunters, 2024, number 2, Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, 2024, number 4, Psylocke, 2024, number 3, Sabretooth. The Dead Don't Talk, 2024, number 2, Spider-Boy, 2023, number 15, Star Wars. A New Legacy, 2025, number 1, Star Wars. Ewoks, 2024, number 4, Strom. Life Dream, 2025, number 1, Ultimate X-Men, 2024, number 11. West Coast Avengers, 2024, number 3. What If Galactus? Galactus Transformed Spider-Gwen, 2025, number 1, X-Men, 2024, number 10, X-Men Facsimile Edition, 2025, number 131. A new series just got to Disney Plus called Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. The overview of the comics and series. I will now read out the overview of comics and TV series. Deadpool, 2024. Number 10, he's Baak. The return of Wade Wilson. Deadpool is in the house. And so is the new Deadpool. But Wade's resurrection has come with a cost. And if Wade and ELLIE can't cope, this may just spell the dissolution of Deadpool and Daughters. A new jumping on point as an all-new chapter begins here. Hellhunters, 2024. Number 2, the best there is. As Sergeant Nick Fury, Peggy Carter, the Soldier Supreme, and Ghost Rider 44 hunt down the demonic Captain Bruckner, they come across a squad of Nazis beset by an unstoppable force of Allied soldiers. That turns out to be one Bowie knife-wielding killing machine. Logan joins the merciless Hellhunters in this blood-soaked, action-packed issue. Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, 2024. Number 4, as a dangerous new street drug tears through his city, Moon Knight sets about cleaning the streets the only way he knows how, by washing them iron blood. Plus something is stirring within the Midnight Mission. But who or what? Psylocke, 2024. Number 3, Psylocke is hot on the trail of a mutant trafficking ring. But a dangerous new villain is tracking her. Has her past come back to haunt her, or has her investigation made her new enemies? And will the help of her lover, John Greycrow, be enough to turn the tide? Sabretooth. The Dead Don't Talk, 2024, number 2, with names like the Franken Gang, the Spirits of 76, and the Night Shifters. The gangs of 1900s NYC are as varied and colorful as they are deadly. But the question is, are they as deadly as the new gangster in town, Mad Dog Murphy, better known to us as Sabretooth? And maybe the bigger question, are any of them as deadly as the even newer player in the New York underworld, the man-eating crocodilian? Find out as the streets of the 5 Points run red with gang blood. Spider-Boy, 2023. Number 15, the Tournament of the Open Maw concludes. The main event is here as Spider-Boy and Daredevil face off against Spider-Girl and Bullseye. At stake, the leadership of the most deadly assassins the world has ever known. Good thing a 10-year-old kid from New York is at the center of it all. Star Wars, A New Legacy, 2025. Number 1, a decade of Marvel Star Wars comics. Celebrate 10 years of Marvel Star Wars comics with all new stories by some of the most influential creators of the decade. Thrill as Darth Vader, Grand Moff Tarkin, Darth Momin, Dr. Aphra, Valance, Chaneth Cha, Rick Duel, Commander Zara. The tags and more collide during a grand Imperial event thrown by Palpatine. Gasp and laugh at a perilous game between 000, BT-1 and Chrysanthemum, and whatever happened to Scar Squadron. Star Wars, Ewoks, 2024. Number 4, the Imperials make their final play. The Ewoks make a final stand against the Empire. The giant Gorax enters the fray. Can anyone survive its mighty rage? Strom. Life Dream, 2025. Number 1, 50 Years of Stardom. For the first time ever, all Black creative teams join forces in a single anthology to honor the many extraordinary lives of Aurora Monroe. When intergalactic historians attempt to update their records on one of the most famous X-Men in multiversal history, they'll find a woman too powerful to contain and risk unleashing a side of her no one's seen before. With appearances of fan-favorite Storms across the eras of Marvel Comics, superstar journalist and Marvel's Voices creator Angelique Roche spearheads a celebration of one of the most beloved characters in pop culture history. Ultimate X-Men 2024. Number 11, Who Are the X-Men? Rise of the Masked Mutants. May Storm takes the reins. No more hiding their powers, even if it means hiding their faces. Disenfranchised and despairing after the raid on the children of the Atom, the man-made mutants seek out leadership, and May Storm is ready to rise to the occasion. West Coast Avengers 2024. Number 3, as a second Ultron appears and declares himself leader of a terrifying new religion, Iron Man and War Machine reveal at last how their Ultron became a hero. What if Galactus transformed Spider-Gwen 2025. Number 1, after coming to the aid of a wounded herald of Galactus, Spider-Gwen is empowered and enlisted in the service of the World Devourer. But despite her new role surveying the galaxy, Gwen can't help her heroic streak. So when she encounters a world reminiscent of her home, will she ally with its alien residents and attempt to battle one of the cosmos' greatest forces? X-Men 2024. Number 10, Raid on Greymalkin Aftermath. In the wake of the raid on Greymalkin, the X-Men are fugitives, and O*N*E knows exactly where to find them. Heavily armed Shrike squads are en route to the factory to serve warrants and lock up the X-Men, and it won't be long until the X-Men find themselves right back in Greymalkin. Unless X-Men Facsimile Edition 2025, #131 Kitty Pryde, meets more of the X-Men in a vital chapter of the Dark Phoenix saga, when Cyclops, Phoenix, Nightcrawler, and the mutant pop star Dazzler save a young girl as she flees her pursuers from the Hellfire Club. Little do they know she's destined to become one of the most iconic X-Men of all. But with Storm, Colossus, and Wolverine still prisoners of the White Queen, the young Kitty Pryde must lead her new allies back into the Lion's Den to come to their rescue. Can Emma Frost withstand a psychic battle with an increasingly ruthless Jean Grey? And will Dazzler accept an offer to join the X-Men? It's one of the all-time great Marvel comic books, boldly represented in its original form, ads and all. Reprinting X-Men 1963. Number 131. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is an animated series that follows Peter Parker on his way to becoming a hero, with a journey unlike we have ever seen and a style that celebrates the character's early comic book roots. Everything released by DC Comics this week. DC Comics released 7 different comics. The comics included Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween Noir Edition Number 1, DC Power, Rise of the Power Company Number 1, DC Lex and the City Number 1, Green Lantern Number 19, Superman, Lex Luthor Special Number 1, DC Connect Number 57, DC Power 2024. The overview of the comics and series. I will now read out the overview of comics. Batman: The Long Halloween. The Last Halloween Noir Edition #1. In 1996, writer Jeff Loeb and artist Tim Sale teamed up for Batman: The Long Halloween, an award-winning 13-chapter saga that spawned multiple sequels and stands as the most influential Batman story of its era. Now, Loeb returns to the world of The Long Halloween for its long-anticipated final act, Batman: The Last Halloween, an all-new 10-part mystery continuing the story from 2021's The Long Halloween special. In each issue, Loeb will be joined by one of the top artists in comics, in a beautiful and lovingly crafted tribute to Sale's art and legacy. In issue 1, Gotham City learns to fear Halloween once more as a terrible event threatens to destroy Jim Gordon's life and puts Batman and Robin's teamwork to the test more than ever before. In a city of liars, masked vigilantes, and criminals, can anyone be trusted? Noir Edition. DC Power. Rise of the Power Company #1. The Justice League's watchtower looming in the skies is intended to inspire hope and faith in superheroes. But not everyone believes metahumans act in humanity's best interests. The fringe beliefs that Waller was right, have grown louder as paramilitary groups take to the streets to take Earth back for the human race. Enter Josiah Power, a meta-attorney who's seen enough of rising hate and sets out to assemble a team not only to protect Black and brown communities from these new threats, but also to rebuild human faith in heroes. DC Power returns for a third year in a new format, continuing the storylines from Absolute Power and All In, and setting the stage for the return of the Power Company. DC's Lex and the City #1 its Valentine's Day, which means that love and heartbreak are sweeping every city in the DCU. This anthology collects 8 stories of heroes and villains looking for love in the big city, which practically feels like its own character. Lex Luthor laments over the one that got away. The big, ever-elusive metropolitan man, Superman. Raven and Beast Boy embark on a romantic scavenger hunt across San Francisco, which just might be a trap, and Damian Wayne runs a dating advice gauntlet through Gotham City, organized by none other than the dating master himself, Tim Drake. Gather your gal pals, pour yourself a Cosmo, and hit your nearest comic shop. DC's LEX and the City is coming this January. Green Lantern #19 go all in with Green Lantern as Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps are given a new mandate to patrol the galaxy, fight crime, and stop the rise of fractal lanterns throughout the universe. An exciting new status quo for the DC Universe begins here. Superman. Lex Luthor Special #1 During the Battle of the House of Brainiac, Lex Luthor's memories were wiped clean, but now, after the events of DC All-In Special #1, the world needs Lex to remember his past. There is a key piece of information in Lex's lost memories that could unlock an epic mystery that plagues Superman and the Justice League. But what if Lex doesn't want to remember? The Last Days of Lex Luthor arrives with a jaw-dropping 3rd issue by Mark Waid and Brian Hitch. Superman. The world takes Superman International in a brand new original graphic novel, featuring the talents of creators from all around the world. Plus, H2SH continues with Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee's Batman #159. Mr. Freeze makes his debut in the Absolute Universe in Absolute Batman #7 by Scott Snyder and Marcos Martin. And Absolute Green Lantern #1 by Al Ewing and John Lindsay makes an intergalactic entry with a jaw-dropping reinvention of the Green Lantern. DC Power 2024 N.K. Jemison and Jamal Campbell are back with an epilogue set in the world of Far Sector, bringing together Joe Mullen and John Stewart for the first time. Duke Thomas, aka The Signal, finds inspiration from an unexpected source. Crispus Allen seeks a new purpose beyond his role as the Spectre, turning to Renee Montoya for guidance. Thunder and lightning create fireworks at a community event when the Condiment King appears. Raphael Arce learns the secret origin of the original Bloodwind. Val-Zod reflects on the balance between his pacifist beliefs and his duty to protect his universe. And last but not least, Nubia teams up with Mr. MXYZPTLK. Also included is a preview of Absolute Power Origins, the companion miniseries to the blockbuster event focusing on the secret history of the Suicide Squad's leader, Amanda Waller. Everything released by Image Comics this week. There was 15 comics released by Image Comics. The comics included Black Cloak #11, Blood Squad 7 #6, Blood Train One Shot, Dust 2 Dust #2, Hornsby and Halo #3, Ice Cream Man #43, Impact Winter TP, Volume 1, Knights vs. Samurai #5, Merca and Dolfo's Sweet Paprika Open for Business #3, Redcoat #9, Spawn Sam and Twitch Case Files #10, Spawn Violator #5, The Power Fantasy TP, Volume 1, The Seasons #1. The overview of the comics and series. I will now read out the overview of Comics Black Cloak #11. Everything comes to a head as Black Cloak's Essex, Pax, and Alden come face to face with the monster behind the Dragiern. Can saving Kiros mean not setting everything on fire this time? What happens if the last city in the world falls? Blood Squad 7 #6. What the hell is BloodCon? That's the question everyone will be asking when this explosive extravaganza, this paean to modern marketing, is announced. But properly marketing a new superhero team is nothing compared to actually being on it. Don't miss the madness. Blood Train One Shot 28 days later, meets the ruins in this high-stakes standalone horror story. After backpacking through Asia, a group of friends climb aboard the Siberian Express to start their journey home. Little do they know, they've bought a one-way ticket to hell, as one of them has been infected with a bioweapon that will turn them into a monster who will slaughter everyone on the train. And the bioweapon will start World War III if it reaches its destination in Europe. Now, these friends must make a difficult choice. Kill someone they love to save the world or die trying. From Ninth Circle, bringing you the best horror each month by the industry's top creative talent. Dust number 2 in the heart of the Great Depression. Photojournalist Sarah and her 2 young charges are engulfed in a massive dust storm that threatens all of the residents of New Hope, leaving behind death and destruction. Hornsby and Halo number 3. A blizzard hits the town of Warwick, but it's hardly a natural occurrence, as rogue agents of heaven and hell try to disrupt the tenuous peace between realms, using Rose Hornsby and Zach Halo as pawns. The storm's ethereal qualities raise the dead from their graves to reclaim their personal valuables stolen by the Halo family before being buried. And Zach and Rose discover the hard way that finders keepers won't deter angry zombies. Ice Cream Man number 43, one-page horror stories. It's a star-studded, make your jaw drop to the floor issue of Ice Cream Man. Impact Winter TP, Volume 1. Darcy, a young and headstrong fighter looking to prove herself. Rook, a wandering centurion needing a second chance. Penelope, a newly awoken vampire seeking revenge. Their stories unfold in the dark corners of legend, where vampires are real and waiting for the opportunity to step from the shadows. Knights vs. Samurai number 5. In the aftermath of a horrific dragon attack, the tension has reached its peak. Sonata and Charles must make a decision. Admit that they are not each other's enemy, or remain loyal to those they serve and continue with the bloodshed. Mirka and Dolfo's Sweet Paprika open for business number 3. Aubrey struggles to balance an impossible tightrope, juggling his open relationship with Persica, a secret affair with Kren, and the overwhelming demands of editing Durian. Breaking the rules of his open relationship is out of character for Persica, and it's only a matter of time before things take a turn for the worse. Redcoat number 9. Everyone has a drinking buddy, but there's none more magical than Johnny Appleseed. An American legend, Johnny lived an adventurous life, particularly when he crossed paths with our immortal British redcoat Simon Pure, who shared his pursuit of a good time with good drink. What secrets does Simon reveal in his inebriated state? Plenty. Spawn Sam and Twitch Case Files number 10. Twitch is still under investigation for the shooting, and things aren't looking good. After some investigating, Sam realizes that there is something unnatural to the situation. Spawn Violator number 5. The Violator has found himself slumming around Europe, looking for trouble to make, things to burn, and humans to torment. Art duties in this issue by the incomparable Kevin Maguire. The Power Fantasy, TP Vol. 1. Superpowered. You have certain preconceptions. They're incorrect. Here, that word has a specific technical definition. Namely, any individual with the destructive capacity of the nuclear arsenal of the USA. There are 6 such people on Earth. The planet's survival relies on them never coming into conflict. The seasons number 1. Summer, winter, spring, and autumn are the Season Sisters, the daughters of the world-renowned Seasons detectives. 10 years ago, their famous parents disappeared. Left to raise themselves, the sisters formed an unbreakable bond. Now that bond is tested as the sisters fall prey to sinister forces. The youngest sister, Spring, is the last hope of saving them from a fate worse than death. Will Spring be able to piece her shattered family back together before it's too late for them all?
Thank you for watching. Have a good day.